Hey everyone, how's it going? I hope you're doing well. I'm doing well because today we're talking about music and we're looking at part three of the massive record haul that I got. Now, I say massive. It's the biggest one I've ever had, certainly, gifts here and there, but we're rounding it out today, finishing it off. And this one, we got a lot of jazz fusion. So Alex from Beer and Vinyl, take note. I think you're going to like a lot of what you see in here. But we're not starting with that. We're going to delve right into it, and we're going to go to A Place in the Sun by Pablo Cruz. This album came out right 4 worlds away, which is the other Pablo Cruz album I got. So, into that yacht rock vibes. I mean, this just looks like yacht rock. It looks like summer. And on the back too, like we're not getting better than that. Again, Pablo Cruz, newish band to me. Don't know a lot of their hits beyond a couple from worlds away. So excited to delve into that. Get that, spring is in the air. So get into summer. You gotta wait a bit. Now we're into the jazz stuff, the fusion stuff, and a lot of this I've never heard. Like, I know these musicians, I know vaguely what they sound like. I don't know where these albums fall in their catalog. This is where I'm going to rely on you all a lot. Tell me, am I missing something? Is there a cornerstone piece I got to get? So this is The Leprechaun by Chick Corea. Check out that art there. That's some awesome art. Show off the back. There's Chick Corea, maybe being a leprechaun. Not sure. You you tell me. Marketed in Canada. Got that on the vinyl there in the bottom. Another Chick Corea album, My Spanish Heart. There's Chick Corea and presumably his Spanish Heart. 2 disc set or 2 vinyl set. You can see side 1, 2, 3, 4 there. And again, all of side 3 and 4, it's all lengthier pieces. Looks like Spanish Fantasy. All of side 4. I'm excited to get into this. I mean, it's a genre that I've wanted to get into, and I feel like now, like, there's nothing holding me back. There's just so much there. Now we're delving in. I kind of like how this was randomly organized because it flows. So we have an evening with Herbie Hancock and Chick Corea in concert, another 2-piece set. Pretty excited for this one. I think this is going to be a lot of fun to listen to. The sparse back cover there. What do we have? So each side, except for side 1 and 4, are their own individual tracks. So side 1, Someday My Prince Will Come with Liza, I'm guessing. Maybe Liza. Side 2, Button Up. Side 3, February Moment. Side 4, Maiden Voyage and La Fiesta. Cool. I'm excited for that. That may be one of the first I put on, just because that one looks good, sounds good. Next, we have another live album, but this is just Herbie Hancock. I believe this is recorded at the Newport Folk Festival. And there's the back there. Again, just jazz music, live jazz. Nothing better than that. And then here we go again. We're going with Crystal Silence by Gary Burton and Chick Corea. If I had to guess, just based off of kind of the album title, album artwork, I'm guessing this is going to be a fairly, sparse, subdued record. But I'm pumped to be wrong. I'm excited to be wrong. You all got to tell me. You got to tell me what to expect. Now, these next 2 albums appeared. Well, one of them appeared on classic albums I've never heard before. So some of them I have since rectified. And those are coming soon, but this one I hadn't picked up yet. No, I do. I got no reason to say it's an album I've never heard. So I've got the 2, both are classics. I only named one of them. So we're going to start with one of the self-titled albums by Fleetwood Mac. Obviously, this is the more notable self-titled Fleetwood Mac album there. Show off the back. What a cool looking band. And then this is the album I did name, Rumors by Fleetwood Mac. I really like that cover there. That's just so evocative, so indicative of a very specific California time. California place. I'm into it. It's awesome. I love it. And Fleetwood Mac, are they one of those snow globe bands? I think Fleetwood Mac for me are one of the Fleetwood Mac. Sorry, that's the hip hop version. Fleetwood Mac are one of those snow globe bands for me. And what I mean by that is their catalog is so vast and they have so many kind of lengthy periods of time. Some people say this is the period you got to listen to. Some people say this is the one you got to avoid. That you never know where to delve in, so you just don't. But maybe you just do it an album at a time. Similar, I don't really read single issue comics so much anymore, just because it's, as fun as that is, it's a costly endeavor. As I look at all my music and CDs, pretend I didn't say that. It's a costly endeavor that to me isn't what I want to collect, so it's not worth that price to spend, whatever, however much every week. But a lot of people say, where should I enter into this series? How do I get into this series? And a lot of the time, people might recommend, standalone stories or a graphic novel or something, a trade to pick up. But other times, like, just pick up this most recent issue, maybe a couple back. So you're at the start of a story arc, just go from there. And then that, fill in the gaps from there. If you like, this aspect of the character, do some research and find, something where Batman is being a little more detective-y. Or if you like humor and comedy, find something, a writer, for example, that kind of fits that a bit more. Back to the music. So with that, we got Kiln House by Fleetwood Mac, one of their more earlier blues rock albums. From what I gather, I really like that artwork. It's real pretty. So happy to get that. Now, this is an album I already have in my collection, but the one I have, I believe, is a 50th anniversary repress. And the one, it's a gatefold, but there's no bonus tracks. There's nothing fancy on it. So I'm still not sure, like, do I want to have both of these in my collection? Am I going to be that kind of collector? Or because they're different enough in that one is a gatefold, it's not just a reproduction, but there's nothing ostensibly different. My sound system isn't good enough to pick up any kind of audiophile differences or anything. You're going to sound almost identical, presumably. But again, you tell me. Internet, tell me what to do. We'll figure it out by committee. This is the not self-titled debut, self-titled second album by the band, The Band, which is just a classic. Like, this is, if you want to know roots rock, which I certainly do. I mean, I've got a couple albums, but everything on here is a hit. Like, just, I can't even pick, not a great song. These are all great songs, across the great divide. I think Rag Mama Rag might be one of my favorites, but I mean, The Night They Drove, like everything on here, just every single track on here is an amazing, amazing album. I'm excited to have that. That said, that's the only album I've ever actually really listened to by the band. It's the only one that I've owned previously, but even just generally speaking, the only one I've owned. I've heard some of their stuff on streaming platforms, classic radio, but now I got a couple more. So I got Northern Lights, Southern Cross by the band. It's a really cool picture there. I like it a lot, like it a lot. The band. Why am I holding it like that? I have weird thumbnails. Much better. And this way we can do the Tim Derling. There's the spine. And another album from the band, Stage Fright, which has a really cool, I'm going to say patina, really cool texture to the sleeve. I like it a lot. Like it feels painted. Maybe it was. Maybe the person who had this album last got bored, painted it up. The next is really cool. I was not surprised to see this, but again, it felt kind of like a bit of an outlier in this person's collection. But really, really, really pumped to have this. This is Living in the Past, Jethro Tull. This came out, I believe, in 1972. It's an early years kind of compilation retrospective. It comes with like a little booklet as well. Show off kind of a bit of what you got later. Cool, cool, cool. Yeah, and it's just it's a compilation, but it has singles, previously unreleased stuff, outtakes. It's one of those compilations where there's a point to own it. It's not just your greatest hits. It doesn't have any listing on the back, but that's kind of all in here as well. It's got a nice little booklet that tells you a bit about the band, where the album, where the tracks came from, who played on the tracks, which is really, really cool. Just a very informative kind of early compilation, which I like. Now we're into the before we get into the more jazz stuff. Alex, I hope you're still watching. I don't know why I'm pointing out. That's you. You can be Link. Cool. Still watching. Some classic rock. We got Savoy Brown, Raw, Sienna. Again, saw this in there. It's like, oh yeah, we're grabbing this one. We're grabbing this one, and we are rocking into the springtime with this. That's a good one. That's a good one. Classic album. I love this one a lot. Never owned it physically, but happy to have a copy of this. Now we're going to finish off with four albums from the same jazz musician. Someone that I know is actually, my mom really likes this musician as well, but she's not giving away her music. So we got these four albums. And again, where do they fall in this musician's catalog? I don't know. You got to tell me it's some of these are by the group, if that gives away who this might be. Some it looks like are just kind of solo works. So we have Pat Metheny group, First Circle. This one has a bit of a glossy sheen, like feeling to it. I don't know if that's just this version of it that's pressing. You can tell a lot of these are obviously Canadian because you got your little flag. Cool. I like that depressing looking rainbow on there. Does Richie Blackmore know about you? Another one from Pat Metheny Group, Off Ramp. I've heard this one is a really good one to kind of enter into the Metheny verse with. So happy to get that. I always like it when you get your performing shots down there. Who's on the album and why? Pretty good, pretty good. Fourth one, Pat Metheny and Lyle Mays, As Falls Wichita, So Wichita Falls. What an evocative name, album cover. Makes me think of Nebraska by Springsteen almost. I've heard this is a really, really good album as well. Got your two players on the back. It's a great shot. Third album, which I mean, it's just listed, or fourth, just listed as just Pat Metheny. So I'm not sure if it's just Pat Metheny playing, if there's a band. New Chitoka. It's a pretty cool picture. And then we're finishing off the video. This is the last of the haul. So we're showing the back of the last one. There's Mr. Metheny playing some jazz guitar. And there you go. That was a lot of music. I've barely touched it yet. I haven't necessarily gone in to listen to it too much yet. I did listen to the band a bunch because again, I was like, what a great album. It's such a great one. But this one has a lot of jazz in it. So for you jazz fans watching, let me know kind of what to check out. If I like some stuff on there, where do you go next? Because I know, a lot of these jazz musicians, they did fusion, but they also did, bebop, hard bop. Some are more instrumental, some are more out there, some are heavier, some are lighter. As someone that only previously was into maybe like cool jazz and the classics, as well as, Bill Evans, stuff like that. Where do we go? What are we going to do? I feel like for the fusion mission that I had for 2024, I'm set. Obviously there might be a few pieces I'm missing. And I've got some albums that I didn't show because I've purchased them previously, but I think, maybe Canterbury and Krautrock, you're next on the list, buddies. But otherwise, thank you so much for joining me on this. This is a video where I do really want to hear from you, so please let me know your opinions and thoughts on a lot of these albums. And I'll catch you next time with something hopefully not pickup related. Catch you next time. Bye.